Hi, I'm David Huang, member of the Teen Advisory Board with Howard County Library System, and today I'm going to show you guys how to do math operators and do concatenation inside Java. So the main 6 operators we're going to be doing in Java is going to be, or today at least, it's going to be addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulus division. So the first 4 you guys are probably going to be pretty familiar with. This is just the 4 basic mathematical operators. The 5th one is probably going to be a little more complex, modulus division, but they're all very simple. So first, let's have some integers ready. Or actually, let's change these to be doubles so we can do something with things with decimals. But so we have a double num1 5, double num2 10, and then double num3 of 1000. And this is just here. So when we display num3, you guys will know that it's actually going to be displaying something and isn't just something pre-generated. So first, let's use show addition. So let's actually put spaces between these so you guys can actually see. Okay, so addition. So num3 is equal assigned instead of 1000 num1 plus num2. So this would be num1, which is 5, plus num2, which is 10. So you get 15. And then you would get 15, 5 plus 10. Second, you get num1 minus num2, so 5 minus 10. Again, pretty simple. There's negatives here, but everyone knows that it'll just be negative 5. Multiplication is also very simple. The one thing to note is that in Java, you don't use the x sign. This is incorrect. It really doesn't know what that is. It's not a real math operator in Java, at least, and it won't know what to do. Instead, we use an asterisk, not an x. And generally in math, I'm sure asterisks are a little more common. But yeah, num1 times num2, you get 50. Finally, num3 reassigned num2 divided by num1, so you get 5 divided by 10. Since these are doubles, or it doesn't matter if they're doubles, since this is num2 divided by num1, which would be 2. If this were num1 divided by num2, this would still be fine since they're doubles, and you would get 0.5. Next, we have num3 equals num2 modulus divided by num1. So in modulus division, instead of finding the quotient, which is what you would do in division, it would find the remainder of whatever is being done. So let's say we have 17 divided by 13. So 13 goes into 17 once, but the answer wouldn't be 1 since that's the quotient. It would be 4 since 17 divided by 13 has a remainder of 4 since it's 13 times 1 plus 4 is 17. So that's what it would be, something like that here. So instead, you would have num2 of 10 divided by num5 of 1. Well, the quotient is 2, but that's not the answer. It would be the remainder. But in this case, since there is no remainder, since they perfectly divide, you would get a remainder of 0. So let's run that. And of course, it'll take a little bit to compile. And here we go. We get 15, negative 5, 50, 0.5, and 0. And of course, since these are doubles, you get the little decimal point zeros and the like. The final thing we're going to look at today is going to be concatenation. So in this case, you would need to basically put certain things together. So for example, we all know that system.out.println, if we put in quotations, hello, and then we are to hit compile, of course you would get hello. Hopefully, if this compiles, you would get hello. Since this is in quotations, it'll show the text. And we know that num3, since there's no quotations, is going to display whatever num3 is assigned to at the moment, which I think is 0.0. But if we wanted to say, num3 is equal to, but we wanted to say what num3 was equal to, and we didn't want to just print these things in the same line. Of course, you could always just delete print line so that the next line is printed right after it. And of course, that would work as well, but that's pretty inefficient, and it makes the code look very wonky. So instead, you would do a plus sign, of course, outside the quotation, so it isn't displayed. And then you would do the variable, so in this case, num3. So now we know that when we run this, when we wait for it to compile, we get num3 is equal to 0.0. This is a bad example because I forgot to remove the next line, or add the next line. But if we run this again, hopefully this would compile. You would get num3 is equal to 0.0. And then you just get at the bottom. And you can obviously concatenate and add a lot more. And of course, since it will just display the variable, you would always have to add a space in the line of text before or after, like we're doing here, so that it doesn't look sort of weird and awkward. And num1 is equal to, and then if we want to add num1, we can do num1. And again, we could do something else. We could do a period now. We can probably delete this since we already know what num3 is, as it says up here. So we wait for it to compile. And we get num3 is equal to 0.0, and num1 is equal to 5.0. And it looks like we forgot the space here. But if we were to add it, it would just put a space here. So in review, the 5 or the 6, or the 5 different operators in Java: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulus division. And we can concatenate things using the plus signs. So we can add text together with variables and doubles and ints and things like that. So that's how you would combine things like that, instead of having to write system.out.println and then saying num3, which would be very inefficient. So that's a very quick and very brief overview over how to use math operators, how to concatenate in Java. Hopefully that was helpful, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.